What's up, guys? Welcome to another exciting edition of Real Estate Podcast, episode 348. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
And I'm here with Adam.
And we're doing for real salt scenario.
All scenarios happening. Dream burning.
It's been 2 weeks of weird ass movies.
Yeah.
It fucking was a weird ass movie.
So,
sure.
so in Saltburn, there's a scene in this movie. There's a lot of scenes in this movie. I know that. Let me preface it. But of all of them, one of the goofiest ones, because they're all fucking goofy to their own, in their own weird way. But there's this scene where the dude that main character's obsessing over, he walks in, and it's like this. The way the camera shot is that you see dude's face in a close-up. You see dude's behind him.
Yeah.
And they never acknowledge it or nothing, but dude is bent over, literally shaking his ass at him. And my wife pointed that out. She was like, do they not realize what type of shot this would be if the camera was set up in any other angle? It'd be like somebody, like, you like what you say? But
I don't remember that.
Let me see if I can.
Nah,
see if I can find it. It's funny as hell though. But anyhow, it is a goofy scene.
Was it when they were at a party or something?
I think it was like right when
because they like go dancing and shit.
I think so. But it's just this weird shot where dude's just like looking off at you and the viewer, and then dude's behind him, and they don't like just nothing's said on just how awkward the pose that the main character's in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like he's clearly bent the fuck over, like salt burning him from afar,
Yeah, rope burn.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of sequences where it'll cut to one of the characters and they'll be in a very compromising, you know what I mean? Like a very interesting position. Like their body will be positioned interestingly.
So here's my question. Was he just really fucked up, or does this movie have like a very, very heavy dose of like
fuck rich
the
people?
obvious, well, I mean, because the ending saved the movie.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this is like Bernie, but not funny. And then he's like, nah, man, fuck all of you. I hate all of you.
Yeah, the upper crust.
So ultimately, he did what he needed to do to get the job done.
And got their house. Now it's his.
Yeah.
Now he's the upper crust.
The guy was definitely had some type of mental issues here, for sure. Because like, whenever they go back to his house, he is not a lower class citizen by any stretch of the imagination. Like, if he lived in the United States, he would be upper middle class, if not upper class. You know what I mean? Like, depending on how things are going at the time. But definitely has some issues, some mental issues with something. He just was obsessed with these people. He was obsessed with this place.
Well, remember the turning point in the movie where he goes from being timid and shy, he drinks the cum water, and then he suddenly got like this breath of badassery in him.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he drank the mojo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, have you guys ever like dissolved an entire bar of soap in your bath at all? Because that's what that water looked like.
It was definitely soapy water.
Yeah.
That'll make you shit.
Yeah. Well, I just think that like
Well, you know that thing where somebody's like, she's so fine I drink her bath water.
Yeah.
This motherfucker did it.
Yeah. Well, and there's a couple of layers here because he had this like surface level, like apprehension, whatever you want to call it. But like whenever we see him in the bathtub, and then whenever he goes out with his sister and all that kind of stuff, you can kind of see that he's like slowly gaining his comfort, which I get to a degree, because when you're around new people, especially several new people, it takes a little bit of time for you to get like a full feel of like what they're about, how they are, what they're offended by,
Yeah.
things like that, just to kind of feel them out and whatnot.
And so in the context of the movie, though, what would you say is his obsession to get comfortable there? Was it the place Saltburn, or was it that guy?
It was the place.
Yeah, I mean,
I
he
mean,
killed the guy.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean, he killed everybody and
I
like,
mean, but I mean, he had a full grave fucking come apart
he
over his
fucked that
death.
dude's grave, man.
yeah,
He fucked
Whoa.
his grave. Like, here's my thing. If he wasn't crying, I would see it more of like a yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
But like, he wanted that motherfucker so bad. He was like, my only chance to have you is your grave,
Yeah.
well, and
which is
But he
fucking
had to kill him
insane.
because he was
But
going to blow the whistle on his ass and get him kicked
yeah,
out.
yeah,
Lifetime ban from Saltburn. Can't have that.
yeah. And the thing is like I didn't necessarily feel that way about it. I feel because there's several instances in the movie where it's like, is this dude gonna bang this dead body? You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
there's several, like at the end with the mom in the chick in the bathtub, like the way that he was
Oh,
looking,
yeah.
like, so I think that like it's that like crisis that internal crisis that he was having. It's like in order to make this thing happen, at least in his brain, is he has to eliminate everybody. And the ball started with the guy. Once he had to get rid of the guy, because I think he was going to try to work it in from one of two angles. He was either going to try to hook up with the dude and try to get in that way, or hook up with the sister and get in that way. Once the sister thing was thrown out the window, and then he had to pivot, the huge wrench that got thrown into it was them going to his house, his home or his parents' home. I don't think that he was after the dude at all. I think that he saw the dude as a way into this world and into this life. And it was just the fact that like the realization of what he had done coupled with his own mental instability caused these types of weird reactions.
because like, I mean, it just makes you wonder because he took a lot of L's for that W. Like,
I mean, but look what he got.
I
Yeah.
mean, he
A
had.
castle.
I mean, he got Saltburn all right from those sisters.
I mean,
I mean, just a lot of very fucked up circumstances played out in this movie.
well,
I
he
think. I
fully
mean, I think that like he, I think he had an obsession with that guy, and that switched to the place at some point because he was like, I can be myself here. Oh, you're trying to get me away from where I feel the best or whatever, then I'm just going to take it from all of you.
well,
Because it started to get, because there was another scene that was really good too. And I mean, it don't necessarily have anything to do with the main character's motives, but like just how much of an I guess his own echo chamber that he pulls the viewer into. But there's that moment where they're all sitting in the dining room after the son's died, and they're hearing the coroner get the body
Oh,
out,
man.
oh yeah,
and they
When they
close
close
those
the
curtains,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
all that shit's it's just chaos for a split
Dude, how
second.
weird was that scene?
yeah,
That chick pouring that glass overflowing,
Yeah.
like the
yeah.
father trying to be
He's
like,
I think the pie's
like
good.
I don't want to hear it. Yeah.
And the
But what
girl's
was
like,
weird was
dude's like, what the
how,
fuck are you still doing here?
yeah, that's the thing. How many times did he get asked why he was still there and no one did anything about it?
Those people are just that way, though.
Yeah.
There's always people around. I mean, they had that one lady there, like,
Yeah. I think that I don't like from my perspective, I don't think he was I think that he wanted to be him. And the way that the easiest way in his brain to make that association happen, for him to be in that position, to be that beloved by so many people, to be, you know, that well known,
because for
that
the
kind of
longest time, he was
suave.
just a nobody.
Yeah. I think he saw the place and that status as being his way because you got to imagine, which we don't know, but you have to imagine that not very popular in school.
Mm-hmm.
Probably had a rough time with the
Well,
ladies,
like you
all
said,
this
no
kind of
friends.
stuff. Yeah.
And when you go to
So
Saltburn, he could just start over.
yeah, and
He
he
like
saw
created a past for himself. Like,
yeah, and it's like he recognized that like if he's there, he can become this dude instead of like I don't know. That was the feeling that I got from it. I didn't think
Yeah.
that he had any like he saw him, the sister, and the mom as opportunities.
I mean, he definitely would have fucked him to get closer to the house.
For sure, yeah.
But
Oh
it's
yeah.
almost like he would think about trying, then he's like, what if I do it? And he's like, what the fuck, man? You know?
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
would always back off of it. Like maybe he doesn't like that. I don't know.
Yeah. So, but I don't know.
Just an odd movie. And I wonder if it's like, because when you think about it too, something that's a common, not, well, it's common in some films for as many as we've all collectively watched, but there's those films where it's always some upper middle class fucking kid that's just not happy with what he's got, and they just do disturbing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't have to want, but there's no motivation there to excel in anything. I
Mm-hmm.
apologize. I still got my pups here. If you guys hear any loud wincing and barking, um, but yeah, like they're always doing something like really screwed up, and it's like it's like a commentary on how hopeless the middle class feels in a way, maybe.
Yeah.
And this is just a fever dream of one of those individuals, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's hard. It's hard as us as an audience. It's hard for us to really like pull any kind of sympathy with the character because we didn't grow up in that lifestyle. Like we didn't. I wouldn't even say that. Like I definitely didn't grow up upper middle class by any
No,
stretch of the
no,
imagination.
no,
You
no, no.
know.
Yeah. We're all
So
humble beginnings here.
so the character's motivation, like coming from a standpoint from how I grew up and how I see the world, like those people feel so untouchable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That like that thought process and that logic doesn't even cross my mind. Um, but I do understand the motivations of the character and why he would want that type of status in his life. It's just it's very interesting how the writers want to pull this perspective from this. It's almost like they know. If they
Well,
pull it from a lower middle class type of world, then it feels desperate and it makes you want to root for that like makes you want to root for the character more, even though he's doing all this screwed up stuff. Whereas upper middle class, like I wasn't rooting for him at all. But I
oh
also
no,
wasn't
like,
rooting for the other guys either, you know. So like I was just
well,
happy everybody got their comeuppance, you know?
well, yeah, well, I mean, you know, when we cut to the end here and we have him doing his naked risky business coke dance through the mansion,
Mhm.
you
Dick
know,
out,
like,
dude.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I mean, well, you're supposed to almost assume that you know
His
it's a
victory lap, dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you can't even in any, or at least I couldn't in any way be like, fuck yeah, he got him. It was more like, fuck,
What
he
the
got him.
fuck? Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he
Oh, when
fucking
he
got him.
pulled that tube out of
Like,
her throat, I was like, he's gonna kill her.
oh, the
Yeah.
way he just
I mean,
slung that bitch back, dude, like a bullwhip.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
that
like,
was wild. You
yeah,
remember when
it
the
was.
creepy butler, when he was
Mhm.
looking at the maze thing and he was like, "Oh, I just got lost," and he was like, "A lot of people get lost in Saltburn."
Yeah.
He got
Makes
lost
you
in
wonder if
Saltburn, dude.
it makes you wonder if he's seen this type of shit play out before. Like, oh, maybe, you know, obviously not
Well,
as,
dude was always bringing,
yeah.
dudes
So
back, his little projects, like, what you got this
Yeah.
time? Who's
it
your
makes
little
you
poor friend
wonder.
you got?
It makes you wonder.
But that's what made him want him. Remember, he didn't
Mhm.
want to hang out with him anymore. He was getting tired of him. Then he was like, "My dad's dead.
Yeah.
My mom," and it was like, "Ooh, damaged goods. Yeah, he's cool. You're
Yeah.
so real, man."
Yeah.
That's the only thing he liked about him.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
I really, me personally, I really enjoyed this movie. Like it was fucked up in a good way. I love the way it was shot. I love the imagery that was used. I love the way that the director used reflections and water a lot. Like that was really, really cool. Um,
The time
and at the
period was cool.
yeah,
But
2006.
but
yeah,
I will say like I'll say that as far as like I felt like some of that just the shock and awe sequences of the movie really didn't have they weren't really necessary.
hmm
Like spitting in the hand.
Well, yeah, all that shit, like everything from spitting in the hand, drinking the bathwater, fucking the grave,
yeah,
just all that. Like, I could see like something like that being done as like a dream sequence of him, just showing us maybe his more morbid sensibilities,
yeah,
but in an era where when it comes to weird movies and cutting to something fucked up and then cutting back and all of that, you know I feel like it wasn't utilized, or it was overused in the movie, I guess, because by the end you've done seen so much bizarre shit that the oddity of the
Oh, him
ending.
dancing through the house ain't nothing when you get to that. I mean,
yeah,
Yeah, other than him, him fucking, like I said, him crying and him fucking that grave was just that was a weird moment in the movie, because
I said
that's
what
where
the fuck out loud.
I got confused, because I'm like, okay, did he really love this guy? Was it really a means to an end? Was it, and when a movie can leave those questions, maybe it's the hallmark of a good movie. But I don't know. I felt like as someone who enjoys shock and awe films, for the way this movie was playing out, it was like, I don't know. It was almost too much. It wasn't terrible. I didn't dislike the film, but I think you guys knew what I meant from last week,
yeah.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it was definitely it's up there on the weird scale for sure.
Yeah. Well, to me, after watching or while I was watching it, I'm like, this is just like single white female. Like we've seen this movie 1,000 times.
Yeah,
But that I don't know, like we've seen this movie. We've also seen the obsession piece with like, from different angles and things like that and how
yeah,
people use and I don't know, for me this was a different take because like whenever the
It was
weirdness would
original.
happen, yes. And when the weirdness would happen, 90% of the time when that would happen, it was, you know, was it real? Was it really happening? You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Like, did he really, like, legitimately go in that bathtub and drink that bathwater and lick that drain? Or was he just fantasizing about doing that?
And see, I thought about that at some point through the movie. Like, when are we going to get this moment where we see the separation between fantasy and reality? And it never really comes. So it just left me to assume that all that played out just like it did.
Yeah. Like him fucking the grave. Like, did that really happen? Because, like,
Eve.
when me and Dirt was talking about it earlier, it's like, how did no one see this? Like the people just walked off. If
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
really was fucking this grave, somebody would have wandered back up there, would
Well,
have saw it from a difference
his
or
clothes would
distance.
have also been a lot dirtier than they were when he got back to the house. Like he had a little bit
Exactly.
of
Yeah.
dirt on his knee.
Yeah. So it's
I mean,
like,
he
and
took them shits off. It was raining. It was muddy.
yeah. And so that a lot of those sequences, except for the chick,
Oh yeah, that
which,
happened.
yeah,
But it wasn't
except for
just
the,
him.
yeah, there was two people
Yeah.
involved there. And him and the chick and him and the dude. Those I mean, because there was more people, but all this like, to me, all the stuff that revolved around the guy, was never a direct interaction with the guy. Was all of it
I was
fantasies that
always
he was
watching him.
Yes, was it fantasies that were playing out in his head? What was happening? And the fact that they didn't tell you if it was real or not, the fact that they had no type of illusion whatsoever to give you even a thought that it might be an illusion makes it that much more intriguing because it's like,
Yeah,
did it happen?
and even down to the point too where we hear throughout the movie, because it'll cut back to him being, clearly what we now know was talking to the mother at the very end of the film.
Yeah.
They kept asking they were
Oh,
like,
that's who we was
was
talking
I
to. Okay,
was
yeah.
Yeah.
was I in love with him? And he goes, I wasn't in love with him, but I did, boy did I love him.
Yeah.
So it made me wonder too, like, was it the idea of him? Was he like his Tyler Durden? Was he everything he wanted to be but
Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah.
be?
Yeah. And the
For
house
sure.
was the thing. He thought that the house was what allowed him to be that. So the house was the house on Paper Street at the end of the day that was the manifestation of what he wanted to be. At least that's how I took it.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, like I said, I love this movie. Like, it's probably not something I'm gonna watch every single day because it is like, it's not Requiem for a Dream where it's a one and done, in my opinion. I do want to watch it again to pick up on like a lot since we know what's happened and since we know how everything plays out. I want to go back through it and like hyper focus on specific things to see like what does this mean? Is there something happening in the background? Is there other stuff? Um, I really enjoyed it. Like whenever it went off, I was just like, "Fucking bravo, guy!" It was such a gothic. It reminded me of those old Hammer horror films, like except with like single white female vibes. Like I don't know, I really enjoyed it.
It was Liberace's Midsummer.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, it was good though. Like at least I thought it was just like phenomenally. And Barry Keogh or however you pronounce his last
That
name.
I did do a
motherfucker
great
needs
job, dude.
that dude needs to stay the Joker.
Yeah, for sure. Right, for sure.
Let him be the Joker, dude.
Yeah. And the dude that played the friend,
Yeah. Was it
um,
Felix? Was his
yeah,
name?
British Walter White Jr.
Yeah.
He
Played
did a
Elvis and
phenomenal. Yeah,
and it is likable.
Really? That was him?
in the
That was
Priscilla
Walter
movie.
Jr.?
No, no,
No,
no,
he
no,
just
no, no.
looks like
He
him.
just looks like Walter Jr.
Oh.
He
I was
does
about
though,
to be
kind of,
like
right? Like,
I was about to be like, dude, that motherfucker was a revelation in this movie then, dude, because that's a acting
but he
class,
really
man.
honed in on that character, like
Yeah,
the Saltburn. The guy that's like he's always no shoes on, just
yeah, free
sitting
love.
around the
This
Saltburn, dude, hanging
this
out.
this this is a song I wrote. It's called Water.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, for me, Saltburn, full star. This is a shelf setter for me.
I also give it a full star.
Same.
I did enjoy the movie,
I mean,
and
there
I
is a
did not
lot
expect to
happening.
enjoy it.
I'll
was
be
surprised.
very
I was telling
yeah,
Griffin
that's-
earlier, Trav, like this is one of those things, like where there was there's a lot of gay stuff in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't matter because the way the movie was written, like that
Yeah.
just goes to show. You remember when that movie came out and that guy was like, "Oh, everybody's just homophobes. That's why they didn't like my movie."
Yeah.
Well, I like this
No.
movie.
Yeah.
Well, see,
It's
and
just it's different the way it was written. Like,
well, my thing is that like if it had carried on through and it would have ended in some sort of way where him and that dude had a relationship, whatever, shit just gets really weird. Probably would have still been a good movie,
sure,
but I would have gladly been like, but it's just wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah.
That ending saves the movie when you realize, or at least for me,
this motherfucker did the long con.
he did the long con and he fucking suffered for it. He died for his art in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, because I don't think there's anything wrong with pointing out, regardless of whether it's a story's sexual orientation or not. If a movie ain't for you, it just ain't for you, and the world can't hold the knives to your throat for it,
Yeah.
And like for instance, like this movie had its themes, and I was, I liked it. It was good, but it wasn't. I'm not probably going to return to this movie more so than I probably wouldn't give two shits about sitting through that episode of Nick Offerman's story in Last of Us. That was good.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like, yeah, like if people that are listening and watch this movie and they don't really give much of a shit about either love scenes in general, which there aren't really love scenes in this movie,
No.
but any sexual tension that is outside of what you are, whether you're comfortable or not, if you don't want to see it, there's a shit ton of it in this movie.
Yeah. Well, this is what I'll say about it. The fact that they wrote the movie the way they did, to where like he was kind of playing both sides, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, it allowed the writer to go in there and create overall more interesting characters for this dude to interact with. Because think about it, if this was a strictly gay or a strictly straight shot film or written film, then you would have the interactions with him and the dude or him and the sister, and then everybody else would have been secondary characters that really don't matter. The fact that
I
they
mean, yeah, I'm
approached it.
not necessarily questioning the writing or anything, because yeah, it does make it for an interesting scenes, and for scenes that can build up tension that you
Mhm.
normally couldn't with your traditional straight male characters or female characters.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that it was such a brilliant take on the writer's part, because it's like, no, everybody is at risk of either being killed or banged in this movie. And that the tension that the film created, from not only like what's this dude going to do next, like who's going to die next, but also like, is he going to try to seduce the mom? Is he going to try to seduce the sister? Is he going to try to seduce the brother?
Oh, he would have
Like
fucked the
that.
dad if it would have worked. I mean,
Yeah, and that to me built just as much tension in the overall story. It built the same amount as like what's going to happen next with the members of this family. And
Right.
it really goes to show you that you can use sex and sexual orientation and um outside of social norms as writing tools and mechanisms to create interesting stories.
Well, and I would take it further to go that using it as an undertone
Yes.
ramps up the, because that's the thing, is there was a lot of very, like, you understood the tension for the most part between every character except him and the dude.
Yes.
That was always a very vague aspect of the film, and maybe that's so that it can keep it in some level relatability to everyone in all audiences, who knows.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're right, it was used cleverly for sure, but I wasn't expecting that first hour or so to be so on the nose, though.
Well, it just showed the main character's motivations and dedications to fulfilling his goal.
Yeah,
Um, and like if they really wanted to, you could probably cut about 15 minutes of the first hour out and it would still be fine. But like the fact that he not only long played it and then long played it even longer after the fact, after everything was said and done, like dude,
like he wasn't coming out of that house, dude.
no, like, and it just, I don't know. I really enjoy it. And I liked it a lot, man. Like it was kind of a breath of fresh air in a way. And you know, it's just like all those other weird movies. It's like, let's put some out of the box subject matter into a familiar story and see how audiences react to it. But let's not like try to copy and paste what's been done. Let's try to take what's been done and expand on it. And that's what the writer and director did, and it worked out to me. So I'm putting it on the shelf. This is going right next to Midsummer. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
that's
We
where it
didn't
goes in
mention the
my.
aspect ratio.
Yeah, and the fact that it was in 4:3, which was time appropriate. Like we were on the cusp of widescreen in 2006. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, um,
Oh yeah, that copy of Superbad they were watching was in widescreen.
yeah,
But it was on
Um,
a smaller TV, like the
yeah. So, um, I did, and I forgot at a certain point that it was shot in a
oh
different
yeah, after a
in
while it just goes
4:3.
away.
Yeah, it just melts into you're just sucked in by all this craziness that's happening, so.
Hmm.
But, dream scenario, though. Let's talk about this wild ride.
Probably
Uh,
one of Nicolas Cage's better performances in the past few years.
he really toned it down for this.
But
I
did
was
he though?
Well, like the dream
Like,
version of him was acting crazy, but not the
Yeah,
well, I mean, his facial expressions were still classic Cage.
oh
yeah,
dude, when he was like trying to apologize
yeah.
Or
on that
or or
video.
or, or when it cuts to the daughter seeing him march toward her,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
like
fucking
those
weird.
little. How
It was a
so did you guys think at one point did you guys think he was powering those wristbands when they first brought that into the movie? You're like, oh shit, he's just gonna power them all.
No, I kinda because I was picking up on what they were putting down, I'm like, "Well, he's gonna fade into obscurity real quick." Um, because, I mean, this is he went viral.
Yeah, and
In
everybody's dreams.
everybody's dreams. Like,
Yeah,
how more, how much more viral can you go? So, and it's like everybody that goes, look at the dude, the hide your kids, hide your wife.
yeah.
He was popular for a couple of months and then he faded into obscurity. Like, there's a ton of people that experienced this viral thing, and it was just like their interpretation of going viral and how like nobody everyday Joe deals with this sudden explosion of fame and popularity. So whenever they brought the dream scenario wrist bracelet things out, I'm like, okay, so someone found a way to capitalize on this. Just like when most people go viral, people find a way to exploit that and capitalize on it. And then that person's just going to kind of fade off
Well,
into
well,
nothing.
one thing I noticed that they were doing was it's like they took, you remember that meme where it's like, have you seen this man in your dreams?
Hmm.
And it's that weird, very weird face.
Yeah.
Well, this movie seemed to like take that and just make it into a story, and
Yeah.
then throw in the commentaries that you were talking about.
Hmm.
Because the whole idea of like, there's something he mentions at one point. Let me see if I can find the quick definition of it. But it's literally the study of memes, memetics.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Yeah, here we go. Memetics is the study of information and culture based on an analogy with Darwinian evolution. Proponents of memetics as evolutionary culture describe it as an approach of cultural information transfer. Those arguing for the Darwinian theoretical account tend to begin with the theoretical analogies from the existing biological evolutionary models. Memetics describes how ideas or cultural information can propagate, but doesn't necessarily imply a meme's concept is factual.
Yeah.
So essentially, like, if you see a meme enough, you start to believe it.
Yeah. But I mean, that's kind of like everything though. Like if you see something, it makes its way into the public zeitgeist and stays there to the point where it doesn't matter if it's real or not. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter if
yeah,
it's
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
yeah,
it goes into the ether and becomes its own thing.
yeah. I mean, you could start a fucking meme if you had a serious enough campaign to push it. You could start a meme that's the sky is blue, and people, you know what I'm saying? People would, hey,
Hmm.
what color's the sky? And just because of the meme, just because it's in that short term memory constantly, it's gonna pull that information for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But but no, I thought it was pretty interesting how they did the dream sequences and how like out of hand. They really did do a good job at showing you how like dreams kind of feel, you know, and how weird. Like the one kid that was walking across the field,
Oh yeah.
and that dude was after him or whatever, and he's
Mhm.
like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" You know, like
I'm just
it's like, "Well,
here.
yeah, just hanging out." He really had a problem with him not doing anything in his
Yeah.
dreams. I would have
Fine.
just been like, "Good."
Well,
And
it all started when he had the cum fart. It all went downhill after that.
yeah,
When chick was like, "Give me your dick," and he was like, I'm sorry, and he runs off. And after that, everything else just flips
It
on its
all went
head.
downhill.
yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Did his thoughts betray him?
Well,
Because the whole chat that him and his wife have in bed, she's like, you know, are you, would you, everyone's dreaming about you. Like, how do you feel about it? And this, that, and the other. And then, she's like, do you ever dream about women in your sleep and stuff? Like that gets brought up.
yeah,
Then what do we have it? A young 20 something that's like, I've been dreaming about you, like coming in my apartment and fucking me on my couch.
Yeah.
And, the dude being the age he is, he, there's a part of his mind that's making him think he's still got it.
Yeah. It looked a lot better in the dream.
Yeah. And the reality, it didn't pan out.
Well,
and and it's like the minute that scenario played out, everything just went to shit for him
yeah,
because his conscience was tainted by that thought.
right. And kind of the way that I interpreted that was like, whenever someone has they go viral and then they have like a real life interaction with someone that may not go well, that may get out of hand or go out of pocket for a second because they're not used to dealing with all of this kind of stuff,
Yeah,
then the world perceives that person from that point on as this other individual almost. And it's like him going to her apartment and trying to fulfill this fantasy that she has and not being able to live up to it, even though it wasn't something that was like necessarily public. It still interacted and had the same effect as if someone, has a public outburst that does go viral. Because after that, people start having the nightmares about them, and whenever people start having the nightmares, then people are freaking out, all this other crazy stuff is happening. So, like, that's kinda how I interpreted that, was like him showing up and trying to fulfill this fantasy was him having a negative, like, outburst towards someone, and then that changing everyone's, like,
Yeah. It
you
all went
know
downhill after that.
Yeah, yeah,
I think,
and it's
yeah, yeah. I feel like the movie did a really good job of, I don't know, because it really laid heavy on the thought process,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
because your thoughts affect your dreams, all that kind of bullshit. And I think it was a nice balance between the metaphor or the cautionary tale of being viral,
Mhm.
coupled with the way things play out in your mind.
Yes. Yeah, and
Because,
how
he because theoretically, he's, sorry, I was checking on one of my dogs. Um, because his whole the whole this the whole film is, I'm still processing it because I know we kind of flip flop. You guys watch Saltburn and I watch Dream Scenario. Um, but just the I because there's a lot going on. Kind of like with Saltburn though, there's like you have the metaphor for viral and the age of the internet, coupled with a story about a guy that just wants one fucking thing. He just wants his goddamn book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all he gives a that's all he's
Oh,
giving a shit about. He don't
I
give a
felt
fuck
bad
about
for
you.
him at the end.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Do no one
He had a
won?
fucking pamphlet.
Hmm.
He's trying to go to his daughter's like thing, and everybody there hates him. He accidentally hurts the woman,
Yeah.
and he's like, "I just want to fucking live." Like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I don't know any of you. It's like, yeah, but earlier you were eating it up, man. You
Hmm.
did this to you.
The good comes with the bad. No, I did feel bad for him, and like I like how it was interesting because a lot of people don't do this, but it was interesting how he tried to use his like fame and success or whatever you want to call it to try to prop up him being a writer and him getting his book off the ground and all that stuff. But like they just ate him alive, even with the book.
Well, wasn't his like research? Remember when he was talking to that one lady and she was going to put something out, and he's like, "Well, I was gonna
Yeah.
put something out."
That's
Like
what
his
yeah,
whole thing
that
was the hive mind, right? Like the
yeah,
Yeah.
that's why he
collective
flipped the
consciousness, like
yeah, when
so
that
kind of
woman
like the thing with
published
the dreams, like
yeah.
Yeah.
so he had tapped into this, and then whenever he did this thing with the girl, it did make everything go bad.
Yeah.
He tainted all the dreams.
He did with his
Before he
crummy
was just kind
paint.
of there, like before, yeah, because he did nothing.
Yeah.
And as soon as he like tried to do something, it was
Well, it's like not only did hit I mean, if you want to call it selfishness, his selfishness to have his book and to continue living the life he had and all this stuff, it it would have like it would have played out a lot differently if he had just not, because that's the thing to think about, because I'm really hanging on to this idea that his thoughts betrayed him on the whole thing,
Hmm.
because before it, he's not doing, like you guys said, he's not doing shit. He's going to work, he's doing whatever. People just fucking see him in his dreams, in their dreams or whatever. But the minute he crossed marital lines, like, first
yeah.
off,
When he got into some dark shit, the dark arts,
yeah,
the dreams went dark,
because
man.
the minute he went from, okay, I'm gonna meet this person at a coffee shop, or I'm gonna meet this person at a bar, we're gonna discuss things. Even then, it's like, okay, bud, you're pushing it.
Yeah,
But the minute he went back to her house, that's when it all went downhill, man. You don't Married man has no business being in a single woman's house. Not on that kind of level. Like, if it's a professional level, why are we at our houses?
Mm, I mean,
hmm.
sometimes they need the fridge repaired, Trav, or the stove isn't
You
working
gotta check the
correctly.
pipes.
She might be trapped in the dryer. I mean, you never know.
I mean, and if Pornhub was reality, I would believe you, but
I
it's
mean,
so
I've made many a service call in my day. You know what I'm
well,
saying?
but you know what I'm saying though, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You don't you don't married people don't put themselves in that situation from the get go. Like,
Yeah.
you just avoid
Well,
that.
and it was like way out
It's
of
not
his
a
character.
Yeah, it's not a and it's not a trust thing. I want to be clear with that. It's not a trust thing, in the sense it's the same idea like driving a car. You're not
Yeah.
worried about your driving. You're worried about everybody else's driving.
Yeah.
So you can roll up somewhere with good intentions, but you know, I I can admit this as well. I wouldn't necessarily be cool with my wife going over to somebody's house, some dude's house for that matter, to discuss a book or some sort of thing, whatever. No,
Hmm.
I don't care how they sell it to me professionally. I'd be like, hey, isn't there a restaurant, like a conference room, like, isn't there some meeting ground for some shit like this other than at a motherfucker's house?
Yeah. Yeah.
But maybe, I mean, maybe some of that's that old cloth that nobody wants to have made anymore. But that's just, I don't know. That's how I feel about it, at least.
Right. But yeah, Trav, dream scenario bracelet is real. Are you buying one?
Uh, called the iWatch, man.
No, where you can the iWatch doesn't allow you to tap into
so
somebody.
I can go visit a little Korean kid's dreams? No, thank you.
Yes.
No,
Yeah,
thank you.
that's so weird, right? That was a kind of a
Yeah.
weird example.
I
I was
like
like,
how
why
they
are
were
we going?
influencers. Like it kind of goes with the whole viral thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
You know
for
what I mean?
sure. Oh,
yeah.
I saw what they were doing. I was like, yeah.
They were like, dude, it's an ad for music in your dreams.
It's like, get the fuck out
whenever
of here.
dude starts punching him, and he's like, "Well, your punches aren't doing anything. Maybe they can get a boost with the new." Fuck, I fucked the lineup. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, wait, let me do it again. It was an energy drink.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be there one day. One day you'll have ads in your dreams.
Oh, it's happening.
I mean, you're already getting like subliminal messages throughout the day and imagery that makes you want stuff. Like,
Well, I mean,
maybe even dream
that's-
about it. Like,
Well, I mean, that's technology's. I mean, if we go at the way everything is going, in 100 years, yeah, dude, we can sleep all day and still get a full day's work done because we're in the theater of the mind.
imagine when we can do that. It's like you could actually get work done in your sleep
We'll
using
be
the
taxed in our
computers and
dreams.
God damn it.
Yeah, we're never gonna get away.
I'm
from
using
it.
a VPN. Fuck it.
Oh,
I
man.
mean, we're getting
That's
plugged
an
into the matrix.
interesting
We're getting plugged into the matrix whether we
idea
want to be
there.
or not.
Yeah.
like people being able to like when you're in your dream, you know you're dreaming. But you can do stuff, and you're still connected to your computer.
It's
Mhm.
like
You can
Severance,
actually get shit
but-
done.
Yeah, it's Severance, but more realistic.
But that's what happens is like inflation is so high in the future, you have to work till you sleep.
Fuck that. That sounds terrible.
I mean,
That sounds like the idea of a good
gonna
movie,
be.
dude.
That's what I'm saying.
I do a
Like-
lot of work in my dreams anyway.
Like there's like a slave class. That's dude, they're called the sleepers.
We could write it.
Yeah. That's
No,
But
for
not-
real though. I mean, the way you put it though, Adam, like that's absolutely, I think, the future. Not necessarily working in our dreams, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that can be done. You know, like it's like, how did so and so
well, I've
manage to
solved
make
problems in my dreams
$10,000?
before.
Oh yeah,
I've,
Yeah,
had,
I've
I've
solved-
dreamed about stuff and then woke up and been like, I know what to do.
yeah,
Isn't
that-
there-
I fixed it.
Isn't there something along the lines of like whenever we're asleep, there's parts of our brains that come on that aren't on when we're awake?
Yeah.
Or like our brain power is like, I mean, I know we're at like a resting state, but like our minds can like do pretty crazy shit when our bodies aren't.
Yeah. Well, and it's, you tap into those unused parts, or at least those parts that are kind of buried, right? Because, like, if I'm trying to work on something creative, and I think we've all experienced this, if you try to work on something creative, we're just surrounded by distractions constantly. And
Well-
whether
sorry.
it be like, your phone or internet, video games, movies,
Just
whatever,
life in general.
or just like the argument that you had with your wife or husband that's lingering in the back of your mind. Like people absolutely have the ability to take that and use it as a catalyst to be creative, but
Yeah, for
sometimes
sure.
that overrides the process. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and the thing with that, and I think this is absolutely different strokes for different folks. I think forcing creativity is fucking futile.
Yeah.
I think you will still be successful. You will still create, but you won't hit anywhere near the highs of your potential. Now, I'm not necessarily saying every scenario where you're sitting down and trying to do something committed, either in whatever form of art you're trying to do. But I think trying to force it out of you because you're like, man, I've got this much time to spend on this. Let me see what I can do.
Yeah.
I think you're going to walk away. People walk away, or at least me personally, I walk away from those sessions more often disappointed than having gained anything. It's only when the only time that hit me the best is when I'm legitimately inspired, when it's something I can't shake, when it's an idea that's still like even with the most important shit being thrown in your face, like fuck, this bill's due, fuck that's, but that creative process is still like, I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm still
Getting off
like
that easy.
don't you want to record me? Or for me, from my experience, it's like, don't you want to record it? Don't you want to record it? You should probably record it. You should. You're gonna forget it. No,
Yeah.
you're not gonna forget it. Why? Because I'm gonna be here and remind you every waking fucking minute until you do. And whenever you try to do it on the other end of that, and you're like, let me just shit out something.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, you'll get something done, but it won't be anywhere near what you are capable of.
Yeah. Well, I've got a process that I work through that. Like my process for that has been it's been helpful. It's made everything take a little bit longer, but it's been more beneficial in the long run. And this happens a lot in my dream. Like if I'm trying to come up with something or trying to fix something, I'll have dreams about like, okay, this is the obvious, like this feels like the obvious solution to it.
Mhm.
So I'll write it down, make a note of it, and then I'll sleep on it for a couple of days, talk to a couple of people about it, just kind of get general feelers out there to see how it feels. And then whenever I'm experiencing that block, that's when I go in there and flesh out the existing things that are, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I do my process when it comes to that. So it's like, you know, if I have a thought, I think about it, I run through it, I make the notes, I think of all the different scenarios and try to figure out how it's going to work in every single way. And then when I hit that roadblock where it's like, what the fuck, like there's something here that needs to be fixed, or there's something here that I need to work on. If I can't think of anything, I just take what's there and I just expand on it. And normally by doing that, it unlocks a fucking another, you know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
a key to, you know, so
Well,
it's like
but see but that's the beauty of inspiration though. And if you have it, it'll take
Yeah.
those moments where when you're doing stuff, it'll be like, oh yeah, you weren't thinking about this a minute ago, but guess what? New shit has come to light, good sir.
Yeah, right.
And the little you will run from the filing cabinet going, hey, remember this? This idea fucking rocks, dude.
Yeah,
And
right.
it's the same with me. But another thing, another tool in my particular toolbox too is I give it 24 hours. Like whenever an idea like comes to my head,
Mhm.
if I'm still thinking about it the same time the next day, I give it a little more attention. If it's still there, I don't just sit down for any waking idea anymore. Like as far
Yeah.
as music, like I know I'm gonna have way more used up space on my hard drive of shit no one's ever gonna hear if I did it the other way around.
Right.
And I don't know, from from where I'm at this point in my life creatively, if it don't fucking just haunt the shit out of me, I ain't fucking wasting my time on it anymore.
Yeah. But with the dream stuff and going back to like the dream scenario stuff, it's like, what's better than AI? If you can legitimately create these scenarios and play them out in your own head from your perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're also
That-
tripping when you dream.
Yeah. That helps too.
Hard.
So
Yeah. If there was a way to like, if you could learn, or if there was a way that you could hyper focus on specific things while you are asleep, that would change. Not even
Oh,
being able
yeah.
to go into other people's dreams
that's what I
or
meant by
anything
like that
that.
working kind of like you be able to
Yeah.
get some shit
Or
done in
dude.
your sleep instead of dreaming about fucking Mickey Mouse. You
Yeah.
know,
Dude,
hailing on an
or-
airplane or something like something weird.
or man, what if you could use it as like a time period? Like, I mean, because you would still technically be working, but like imagine learning something in your sleep.
Dude, I've had
Literally.
stuff that I couldn't fix for days and dream about how to fix it
Yeah.
and wake up and be like, I know what I have to do.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, like,
I've had that
yeah,
happen.
and well, I mean, like, think
But it's
about it.
because
You
I
could go-
spent days doing all this shit, everything, and then finally it just, no, this.
It
You got to do
clicks.
this.
because And because think about like, and without going too Nolan here, think about like the way time works in a dream.
Yeah.
You could go to sleep one night and spend 100 years reading mechanical engineering, and then wake up and be like, I can fix this fucking 17-story skyscraper.
Yeah. Well, and then it starts blurring that line. It's like, think about Tank uploading stuff to Neo. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's like
yeah. Now
he
you're
was
where I'm at.
well, he was technically asleep even when he was plugged. They're technically asleep when they're plugged into the Matrix. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
instead of the Matrix being this like AI world, what if it's just like this dream ecosystem that
That's what the
because we're
metaverse is going to be.
like we're all connected, right? In some
Mm-hmm.
weird way, we're all connected. If the dream scenario thing was able to like take all of us, everybody on this planet, and use that brain power all at the same time, what the fuck is gonna happen? That's a Lex
It'll
Luthor
be bigger than
fucking
AI.
yeah, for sure. You know, so but Dream Scenario was good. I think that Nick Cage's performance was incredible. I was
Absolutely.
I wasn't expecting it to be I was expecting him to go off the rails. Like classic Nick Cage.
Well, I think, and I think the fact that it only did subtly in his facting, I think that worked. And once again, though, it's proof that Nick Cage just needs a director that knows how to work with him.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a full star. I really
star.
enjoyed it. I didn't like it as much as Saltburn personally. It's hard to compare the two, but like just watching them, you know what I mean? But like watching them back to back, which one am I more inclined to watch
Saltburn was
again?
definitely a little more exciting.
Yeah, yeah. But him with that oversized suit on at the end, whoa.
Oh, the Talking Heads?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, dude. I was like,
David
holy
Byrne.
shit, okay. Yeah.
I think, yeah, I
Dude, and the
think they're
only
both
way he could see his wife was to go see her in a dream.
in Saber in the suit, man.
Yeah. Were they burning
That
her at
was
the stake?
that was yeah.
Whoa.
That was depressing as shit when he's like, this isn't real, and he just floats away, or he says, I wish this was real. Because then you have to wonder, was that like, did he really find out how to get in the dream, or was she lying to him the whole time? But yeah, I give Dream Scenario a full star. I'm not going to throw a comparison on either one. They're both weird as fuck movies. They both belong on the weird shelf for sure.
Yeah. Um True Detective?
Watch it, Trav.
No, didn't know it dropped already.
Yeah. Dropped Sunday.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna watch
Should have
it
done the
anyway.
text. I started to.
I'm gonna watch it anyway. I don't care. Just tell me. Just y'all discuss about it, and I'll.
Oh, I mean, it's the first episode of True Detective. There's a bunch of shit happening, and
Yeah.
there's no, there's no like, what the fuck is happening right now?
No,
Is basically.
no real logical explanation going on.
Well, it's you know,
It's
it's
just
True
setting the season
Detective.
up.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
So,
You
lot
know,
of
it
shit.
always starts slow.
So what's our time period? What's our time period at now?
It's modern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's our damaged main character?
It's a
Well,
couple.
I think everybody's
Yeah.
damaged. Yeah, I think
All right.
everybody's a little damaged. Yeah.
Heard that everybody's got a story to tell.
Well, you've got the straight character, then you have the one that's kind of going against everything in a way, and then you got somebody else that's like really going against stuff, and like I can
There's
see
someone
where,
for everybody.
yeah. Well, it does a good job at like there's some shit that goes down. It gets they there's a lot of stuff that's happening from the perspective of like the indigenous people from Antarctica. So it gets real like
Wait,
s-
indigenous people from Antarctica?
yeah, like
What?
Eskimos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it takes
You
place in Alaska.
Antarctica's? Oh, you mean just the Arctic?
yeah.
Antarctic's the bottom of the planet, bro.
Well, was that research station not in Antarctica? Maybe they called it. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it takes place in those areas. Um, but there's a lot of weird the
people at this research station are trying to figure out where life came from. Like,
yeah,
Oh,
like they're
shit.
it's
drilling
pretty
into the
cool.
ice.
It's getting into some stuff True Detective's never really done before.
Yeah, yeah,
That sounds like some shit I fucking sit around for hours reading about.
yeah. And
Damn.
the people that are that live there, grew up there, and everything. It's like, they believe in spirits and all that kind of stuff. So it's getting
So
real
they have a theological perspective.
yeah.
Okay.
Travis shows up.
Cool.
He does.
Cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
Travis shows up.
barefoot.
He does a dance.
hey,
Yeah.
hey, man! I was waiting for y'all to see me, man.
But no, it's good. Like I said, this one's just kind of setting everything up. So it introduces you to the main characters, and you get the thing. You know how True Detective, there's one thing that starts the inevitable ball that rolls down.
The bad lieutenant decision,
Well, it's
if you
like,
will.
yeah, it's like the thing that starts the case that like blossoms into like all this other crazy shit. So we
Yeah.
have the setup for that, and then we see the interactions of the different characters and stuff like that. But it's a good strong start though. I mean, Jodie
Hell
Foster's
yeah.
Dude,
great.
my grandfather said, he's like, poor old Richard Hinckley, if he could see Jodie Foster now, he'd be like, I tried to kill Ronald Reagan for her. That's the first thing that he said when he saw.
Damn.
That's funny as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Didn't
But it's
expect him to enjoy it because of the way that
Mhm.
it was going.
Yeah.
He's just not into that shit.
Right.
But when it went off, he was like, I mean, we'll have to see what happens. It's like, yeah, they got you. They hook you.
They do.
They put the
Yeah.
line in.
Yeah.
Do we still have the pretentious intros that we know and love?
I don't even think it did one. Did it?
If it did, it was
here in the
super subtle.
Arctic, where
It started-
everybody knows your name.
It just
It
started.
started. Yeah, it started a little different too because it had some text that pop up at the beginning of the episode, and then it really shows you how far removed these people are from like normal society. It does a good
They're-
job at
Are they like? Are they? Is it like those Alaskan refuge people?
Well, they're
or-
far side Alaska. Like
yeah, like
this one dude, like he offers his chick a beer, and he's like, this is the last of my stock. Like,
yeah,
did you notice
Yeah.
the pallets of cans?
yeah, but in everybody's
Yeah,
apartment.
because they buy like
Yeah.
that because
Yeah,
you never know when
Yeah.
you go get to the store again.
Well, what's crazy? Yeah, because out there in that refuge, the only people that live there are the people that have the land leases from before the government made it to where like people can't just go up there and homestead anymore.
yeah,
And there's only like, according to one docuseries I was watching, there's only like 7 families up there, and if you die, unless you can pass it on to your living descendant, that land goes back to the state.
I mean, sounds about right.
I mean, I know that don't have anything to do with True Detective, but it is an interesting fact about the wilderness of
Well,
Alaska.
It might. I mean, we don't like they haven't got into the land dispute thing yet, but it could get
Tensions are high.
Saltburn. Yeah, yeah. Like it's wicked, man, but it's good though.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I want to wait and play it out because for me, of course, season 1 and then season 3 are the best two for sure. So far, which season 2 had a pretty good start too. So like, I don't know.
I mean,
we'll
at
see.
the end of the day, I mean, Russ Cole fucking stands on his own.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Like, we can all agree season 1 ain't going to be topped.
It was almost topped. Like it got damn close in season 3 to topping it, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, He's still in the jungle. I like the twist, but
There's only going to be
I don't
6
know.
episodes.
Like, period?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
looking at the Wikipedia.
season one was what, 8 episodes?
I think something like that.
So, hey, maybe less is more. Like, they do cover some ground in this in this first episode.
do.
So, but
Hell yeah.
but yeah, man, it's really good. I enjoyed the hell out of it. So, we got a little bit of
gotta know
movie
what
news.
happens. I'm hooked.
Yeah, dude. There's a tongue. People are missing. It's a whole thing. Yeah. So, there's spirits. Travis shows up, does a dance. Like, it's a whole thing, man. It's good though. But Bill and Ted 4 is now being written, Alex Winter reveals. So Alex Winter has revealed that a script for possible Bill and Ted 4 is now being written with the intention of shopping the project around. In an interview with the Sarah O'Connell show, Winter revealed that they are now tinkering with the idea for a fourth adventure in the Bill and Ted franchise, with the actor hoping everyone, including Keanu Reeves, will be happy with the result. We're tinkering with a fourth movie idea that all of us like and the guys are going to write. So we'll see. It takes us time to get these things going, and we never want to do them unless they're great. I haven't watched the third one yet.
I watched it.
Yeah, I did too.
It was all right.
There
So
was a
did it-
sense of there was a sense of finality to it that makes this news seem weird to me, though.
That's what I was going to ask. Did it feel like it was it wrapped everything up,
Yeah.
kind of? But okay,
Yeah, I mean, it came out it came out the same year Jay and Silent Bob rebooted.
Yeah.
right.
Similar plots, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Um,
I mean, that plays out, but I don't know. I mean, it's Bill and Ted. I'm biased on the one end, but I don't know.
yeah. No, I understand. And who knows? I mean, it might be a passing of the torch type situation. That might be what Jay and Silent Bob. That might be what Kevin Smith's doing with that.
I thought that's what they did in the one, but
Yeah.
so
So
Oh
Who
yeah,
knows?
because there is some baton passing in that last Bill and Ted.
yeah.
Heavy.
So they could come back as the parents or something,
Yeah.
Uh,
Wild stallions.
Yeah. So Zack Snyder shares details on Rebel Moon's R-rated cut release window. So Rebel Moon, originally released in select theaters and later on Netflix, was initially conceptualized as an audacious R-rated version of Star Wars. However, as it evolved, it transitioned into a two-part saga with a more accessible PG-13 rating. What's particularly intriguing about this space epic is the anticipated release of the director's cut, rumored to emerge just before the sequel, Rebel Moon Part 2 The Scargiver. Now, Snyder has teased when fans can expect to see his hard R rated version of the movie land on Netflix. Despite fans originally hoping that the extended and much more graphic cut of Rebel Moon Part 1 A Child of Fire would be dropped before the sequel arrives, it seems that fans will get to see how the rest of the story plays out in a PG 13 arena in April, a few months before we get to see the director's more extreme edition of either part. Appearing on the DGA Director's Cut podcast, Snyder told Louis Leterrier, that the R-rated cut will be released, quote, in the summer. Although he did not reveal a more specific time frame, it does confirm that fans still have several months to wait in order to see whether the hype surrounding the, quote, different version of the movie can live up to reality. The director's cut is set to delve into a more mature and possibly darker version of the story, reflecting Snyder's initial version for an R-rated narrative. This approach is somewhat of a departure from the standard practices of director's cuts, which often serve to include content trimmed from the theatrical release. Snyder's approach is more holistic, aiming to offer a completely alternate version of the story, which he describes as a, quote, fully realized weirdo heavy metal bizarro land movie. So, we're gonna have to do both PG-13s before we
mean-
get to ours.
Well, I mean, it's bonkers that he's releasing essentially 4 different movies.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Hopefully,
And
when the R-rated drops, it all drops. That
both
would be
parts
nice.
of it.
That would be
Yeah,
nice. I mean,
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious as to when he's going to release some run times.
Yeah, that would be, yeah.
probably
Because
still
if it's
cutting on
gonna,
it.
yeah. And who knows, like it would be almost nice if he cut it up episodically. You know, give us a
Mhm.
45-minute to an hour for each episode and then do like, if it's
Put it
if
all
it's
together.
4 yeah, if it's 4 or
Well,
5 hours, then just do it that way.
well, I mean, well, he could go the chapter selection route like he did with Max and the Snyder Cut,
Yeah.
but I mean, dare I say it, I don't see myself when I sit
I'm
down
gonna
to
watch
watch
it
these
all.
movies.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm probably going to sit through all of it, for better or worse.
Yeah, for sure. So, Daniel Day-Lewis could come out of retirement.
What?
So, retired actor Daniel Day-Lewis made a rare public appearance to honor Scorsese at the National Board of Review Awards Gala. Day-Lewis presented Scorsese the award for Best Director for his work helming Killers of the Flower Moon. While presenting the award, Day-Lewis spoke fondly of the acclaimed filmmaker, recalling discovering his work. I was a teenager when I discovered Martin's work. With the light of his own making, he illuminated unknown worlds that pulse with a dangerous, irresistible energy. Worlds that were mysterious to me and utterly enthralling. He illuminated the vast, beautiful landscape of what is possible in film, and he clarified for me what it is that one must ask of oneself to work in faith.
Calm down.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Wipe your mouth off, Daniel.
Yeah. So Day-Lewis, who collaborated with Scorsese for 93's The Age of Innocence and 2002's Gangs of New York, said that, quote, one of the greatest joys and most unexpected privileges of my life was to find myself one day working with him. I'm grateful to the National Board of Review for so justly recognizing the supreme, inim- inimitable artistry of this mighty man. To every person that works in the crucible of the imagination, he's a living treasure. As a man and as a filmmaker, I love and revere him for his devastating telling of the story of Killers of the Flower Moon. Best Director award goes to Martin Scorsese. As Scorsese accepted the award, he called working alongside Day-Lewis one of the greatest experiences of my life, adding, maybe there's time for one more. As the crowd reacted positively to the idea of another Scorsese and Day-Lewis collaboration, the actor smiled and held out his hands. The NBR also chose Killers of the Flower Moon as its film of the year, with Lily Gladstone earning the Best Actress award. The crime epic based on... All right, we went through that. Who was he trying to play during this... like, is he in character when he's
Oh, he's
making
always
this,
in character, dude.
this speech right here? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Probably was it Bill the Butcher?
Oh God.
I was a teenager, you see.
I mean, he's retired a couple of. Remember when he was going to make wooden shoes?
He did. He went. He was a cobbler for a little bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then he came back and he did the thread or whatever.
Then
The
he went
needle.
away again.
Yeah.
It's like,
So,
dude,
like,
just quit saying you're retired, man. If I can make a movie,
Yeah.
I mean.
just make what movies you want to make. But could you imagine another outing with Daniel Day-Lewis?
I'm pretty
and
sure
fucking-
that Scorsese's next movie is the one with Leonardo DiCaprio where they're on the ships.
Yes.
And
oh,
if that's the
dude.
case,
Yeah, he's the him as
roll
the
that
captain.
motherfucker out. Like,
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna buy a ship, right?
yeah,
You know,
he's gonna show up to work in one, like, because he goes full method. Those two need to get a room though. They're
yeah,
like,
for real.
they're fucking
I'm just
salt burning each other.
He's
I'm
like,
just
oh, Daniel. Oh,
thinking
Martin.
of them hiring a tractor trailer to pull a
Yeah.
boat to set every day while he's out
And he's
there.
standing on it, like turning.
steering
He's
it.
like, raise
there's
the
this-
bow flag. You know, he's like,
Yeah. It's just, we have it to where there's this whole, like, they have a big event set up, and this boat's getting, pushed off into the sea and everything. And they're like, "What's the
Yeah.
occasion?" Oh, Daniel Day-Lewis is getting ready for a movie.
Yeah. Sorry, I was late. Lost 3 crew members in a storm.
Yeah, they're like, dude, it's
It's like,
sunny.
did you
And he
really? He's like,
and he
yes.
hasn't he hasn't quite nailed what his character is yet. So like he's kind of alternating between Bill the Butcher and Popeye the Sailor Man. Either
God,
way,
that
one
would
eye
be great.
one eye squinted with a fucking pipe on the other side. Raise
Sonny
the
boy.
bow flag.
Yeah, Sonny boy, Jim boy.
I'm
He'll be back.
He's a water man.
He will definitely be back, right?
Yeah.
He can't stay away. So, but I would definitely be interested in peeping him and Scorsese working together again. So last up here, Pedro Pascal exits horror movie from Barbarian director due to Fantastic Four rescheduling.
What?
Bastards.
So Pedro Pascal's reportedly dropped out of the new horror film Weapons from Barbarian director Zach Kreger, and it's reportedly thanks to his currently unconfirmed role as Reed Richards in the new Fantastic Four movie. According to the N. Snyder, get it, Snyder?
Mm-hmm.
And Snyder. The new superhero film was set to begin filming in April, but has since switched its production to Q3 of 2024, causing an overlap between the two projects, forcing Pascal to choose just one. With Pascal's stock soaring at the moment, the star has been in high demand with a seemingly endless amount of projects being thrown his way,
But
causing him to pick.
he ain't letting go of that Disney money though.
Yeah, right. Described as a multi and interrelated story horror epic that tonally is in the vein of Magnolia, the 1999 Actor Crown Showcase from filmmaker Paul Thomas Anderson, Weapons deals with the disappearance of high school students in a rural town. The project was in a highly contested bidding war between Universal, Netflix, New Line Cinema, and Sony TriStar, with New Line coming out on top in that deal. According to the Hollywood Reporter, included 8 figures, final cut privileges from Kreger, and the guarantee of a theatrical release. Pascal was announced back in May of 2023 to star in the new horror film, which was supposed to begin filming in the fall of 2023, but production was pushed back thanks to the SAG-AFTRA strikes. First announced in 2019, the new Fantastic Four film, director Matt Shakman is part of Phase 6 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and there has been no shortage of casting rumors since then. Everyone from Adam Driver to Krasinski have been talked about to play Reed Richards, with insiders predicting that Pedro Pascal is poised to take on the role. Though he has yet to be officially confirmed, the 48-year-old Pascal seems ripe for the part thanks to his exit from Weapons in conjunction with Fantastic Four changing its production schedule. I mean, if they did a bidding war, they might push the dates back on Weapons. I
I
mean,
mean,
it
what if? Well, but what if we've got it all wrong? What if Pascal's not Richards? What if he's Doom?
I could see that. But I mean, either way, I'm here for it, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, if they went into a bidding war like that and they really want to pull in Pedro to be in that horror film, they might move the film, because think about it. Fantastic Four is going to film, and then it's going to have to go into post production. They're going to have to work on all the CGI and everything. It's still going to take. They can cut a horror movie, you know,
Yeah,
fairly
I mean,
quickly.
it makes more sense for the quick get in and out job of doing that, but I just think Marvel's just willing to pay him way too fucking much for him to be like,
Oh yeah. And
fuck you guys. I'm going with this indie fucking horror film.
yeah. And it makes sense why I would choose that over, over the horror movie, but I don't know. You never like since he's such a high demand right now, they might make some weird stuff happen with it. You never know. But whoever they get to replace him, I'm sure is going to do a fantastic job if they go that route
Mhm.
with it, you know. So But that's all I got for the movie news. I'm ready for them trailers.
All right, hang on, I gotta add the last one. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Trailers. People want a trailer. Trailer just for you. Have you watched Echo yet, Trav?
Do what?
Have you watched Echo yet?
Oh, Echo? No, not yet.
I haven't watched it yet
Me
either. I was just
neither.
curious.
Yeah, I don't. I haven't really been in the market of uh, renewing my Disney Plus. I've watched a good bulk of what's on there now.
It's on my Plex.
I get to okay. Why I get to it when I can.
Hell yeah.
First trailer.
Lights
Yeah.
out.
Stand back, guard your grill.
I think this is already out too. It went straight to digital in the UK. I think. Yeah.
Let it out. Oh, so is he doing Any Which Way But Loose?
First rule of Fight Club.
The music makes this lame as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, this isn't the same movie that I was thinking about.
I was born for this.
Oh.
We're potluck, right?
Okay,
I'm feeling godly.
we can't watch that one. That's a
Yeah.
Amy Winehouse biopic.
Ooh.
Oh. We can't watch
Does
that.
she play? So she plays the heroine of the film.
Yeah.
Adam the First.
Yeah, everybody good.
Is this a biopic?
I don't know, maybe. Got Scully in it.
Ooh.
Or Mulder. Damn.
They tell that to
David
the horse?
DeWatt?
Look at the tattoo. Whoa. Okay. What happened?
Fucking song is killing me. Daddy, let's go. I tell him everything. Oh.
Okay.
What is the tone have?
I don't know, man.
It's like a Jesus movie, but he's a kid, but
Huh.
Does he kill him?
I don't know, man. He was praying at one point, and
Going to cold.
yeah,
Daddy, let's go. Badland Hunters. Sounds like a really shitty game.
definitely a high res game.
But it's a ripoff
I
of
wouldn't-
Monster Hunters.
Yeah,
Right.
got to go in the Badland and hunt the Badland.
Welcome to the
monster.
Badland.
I
You
mean,
got to
that's the
make it on your
Badland.
own out here. Or
It's
fucking
got a dude
Rage.
in it. I can't remember his name. There he is.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Train to Busan.
What up, Nam Sam?
Oh, okay. I can forgive a
Zombie?
shitty name.
What the fuck?
Reptilian Elite.
This is Asian Last of Us, and I'm so here for it.
Don't look bad.
I mean, it looks about run of the mill for that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that synth kind of hopped me a little bit, but
Yeah, I can
I
feel
was
it.
getting hyped.
yeah, I mean, lock and load.
Stranger in the Woods.
Strangers
this
with
about-
Candy.
Is this the Slender Man movie?
Or like jacking off in the woods with a numb hand.
The Woods.
Taxidermy never bodes well in a film.
The way
Mm-hmm.
Just want to take some pictures.
Yeah. Right.
Won a lot of awards. I'm being a thick Swedish honey out in the woods. He gonna get you.
Dude kind of looks like Dax Shepard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's definitely the bad guy, huh?
I hope not. Got a trailer or an ad for True Detective?
Going on.
I'm feeling godly. All right, it's done.
This got the dude from Stranger Things. Guy with
Joe
the hair.
Keery. Yeah.
Dude, what now?
This is a story about Billy Joe and Bobby Sue.
Are they gonna Bonnie and Clyde some shit? Yep.
Shit got too real, you know?
Yeah.
Is that Mia Goth?
I don't think so.
No.
Nah. She's playing his ass, though.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what now? Excuse me, what?
I mean, it don't look bad.
Nah.
You got to
I got
add.
a Capital One.
Same.
No overdraft fees. Bullshit. You'll
Yeah.
find some way to fucking get it. Snakes.
All right.
Oh, we got a John Wayne Gacy
Mhm.
movie? Okay. Crazy Clown Time. Been seeing a lot of Quiver distribution.
Yeah. Just want to take some pictures. But he didn't do nothing in front of you. Some exquisite acting here.
Yeah.
Man, this trailer is bad.
Yeah.
This is a bad trailer. I wish the same team, because you remember at the end, don't you see Gacy?
Yeah, they show Gacy in the Dahmer
Mindhunter, right?
series.
Or was it Dahmer?
Yeah, it was Dahmer.
Yeah, it was Dahmer.
Yeah.
I wish the same team that did that show would do a Gacy.
I think they're
There's
going
a
to.
story there.
There
think
is an early 2000s movie that recounts the
Was it just
story of
called
Gacy.
Gacy?
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
is a really good. I mean, for ultimately a B movie, I thought it was really good.
Yeah. No, I think the Dahmer team, because it wasn't called Dahmer, it was called something Dahmer.
The Dahmer
Like something,
tapes.
yeah, it was something colon the Dahmer tapes. So I think that they were going to take other serial killers and give it the same
Yeah.
Dahmer treatment, you know?
Because that was a great show. Just the detail and everything, the acting, like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exquisite.
Mindhunter was really good.
We got Owen.
Owen, you clumsy
We got
poop.
Obi-Wan.
Well, hello there.
Clara, is that his daughter?
It is his daughter. Wonder what he saw in this script.
That's what he saw.
Throwing that up in my face, bitch. All right, he's doing one for him.
Yeah.
Oh. Where is she? Oh, it's his daughter.
Yeah.
For real? Okay. I bet she wanted to make this movie and pulled him in.
Yeah.
Cool. They should have pretty good chemistry then. Yeah.
That's where they got the name from.
Yeah.
Oh,
Abigail? I don't have a.
Nobody got an ass.
No.
Giving Black Swan vibes. Is that Gus? It is Gus.
Is that Elon?
He does look like Elon.
Elon with Gaines.
They're gonna fuck this up.
Yep.
She going home alone on him?
Oh shit.
Is he sawing them?
The guy's like, oh, now.
This got stupid quick. And that's a shame because there's good actors in this.
Looks like it's gonna be a comedy. Oh shit. She's gonna lick it. Oh, it just went away. Wow.
Wow. I got no trailer or no ad.
We finally get a trailer for the series.
Is this going to have McConaughey in it?
I don't know. It'd be a lot cooler if it did, right?
Yeah, for real, right?
Is that Gus again?
I think it is.
Who's your daddy?
E Ridge. That's Gus. Funny, man. That's
Double Gus.
Double Gus.
Oh, Giancarlo putting in the work. Not expecting that voice. Should we play or should we talk?
Looks pretty good.
Some more Guy Ritchie nonsense.
Is that Jack Black? Oh.
It just makes me want to watch The Gentleman.
Oh, we finally get the trailer for Adam Sandler's Spaceman.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck
I'm actually
yeah.
excited. This has got fucking Dano. He's in it too.
Oh. Wait till you see what he is.
I think I've seen it earlier.
Yeah. Now
but
that checks out. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
All right, no ads?
No.
Why did you send him alone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Dano.
Yeah.
Wherever you go, I go. Ooh.
It looks good, man. I fucking hate spiders, but I still want to watch it.
Yeah.
A Dano spider might not be that bad. You know what I'm saying?
I'm really glad it's not an over the top comedy.
Oh yeah, right.
That took me by surprise. I was expecting the spider show up and then space shenanigans ensue, you know?
Yeah, it's Paul in
Which
space.
which that's gonna happen, but you know, on a
Yeah.
more deeper level, I guess.
Right. What have we here? Oh, we got 3.5 minutes. I already
Yeah.
know what we're getting into. Never mind. Turning the closed captions on.
Wireless. Turn the caption
Yeah.
on. Or buy a business or an apartment. Oh. Hollywood Johnny Cash.
Yeah. It's a big ass hook, dude.
The way they've mixed that with this,
Yeah.
like, caption's not working.
He's about to break bad on somebody.
Oh, he's gonna break all the bad.
He's like, wait, let me go stare at the ocean for a little bit at sunset. Bet.
Okay.
Oh shit! What?
Yeah.
This guy doesn't reload guns. He just gets a new one. Oh.
Hindi metal is pretty rad.
Yeah.
Heddle.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, he came out his butthole. He came out his butthole.
It did.
Dude, that thing is heavy. Man, these motherfuckers know how to make movies, man.
Yeah.
A doctor wrote this
And directed it.
Wildlands.
I mean, a fuck ton of it.
Fucking right.
That just made my night.
I want that Hindu metal to play, or that Hindi metal to play whenever I like roll up into a grocery store.
Yeah.
But get the bread and I throw it in its slow motion.
You're walking slow mo like them when they're doing low rider.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun,
That's
dun. Yeah.
That's more like it. The lowrider.
Leave the fucking world behind.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We got to tack on. You know, we don't have to do it till next week, but Napoleon,
Mm-hmm.
the Marvels.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
this one continues. Yeah,
I
leave the
am-
world behind.
Hell yeah.
True Detective, Trav, you gonna check them out?
Yep.
You come in with the 2.
We'll come in with the Twitter conspiracy theories over Leave the World Behind.
Hey, there's a scene in the movie where a cargo ship crashes into the shore. That shit
Mhm.
happened a few days ago somewhere.
Really?
Yeah, a cargo ship just run up on the shore somewhere.
Damn.
And someone was like, no way. Like, come on. Like, this shit was just in that movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't
Ain't
know,
it-
man. I
But
don't
what
fucking
I do
know,
know,
man. Can't ever tell, bro.
I mean, the check's in the mail.
I mean, the flag's raised.